I'm still mad, bro. I'm still mad.
Oh, my goodness! Now he's got the right now! That's it! He's got the kick out here! Oh, my goodness!
I'm still mad. I'm mad from the fight with Dan Hooker and Paul Felder.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So you're trying to tell me Dan Hooker's gonna go out knocking all these guys out, man. Slanging people. He was slanging people when he first got into 155. Then what? He met Barboza. He tried to fight Barboza at his game. And what happened? He couldn't hang. He couldn't hang. Then he goes out and fights Paul Felder. Mind you, Paul Felder has fought Barboza twice and has a win. You might can debate that win, but one thing that you cannot debate is that Paul Felder stayed in the fight. Paul Felder stayed in the fight. Yes, Dan Hooker was tough. Yes, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but the man bit off more than he could chew. Now, fast forward to the Paul Felder fight. Dan Hooker looked great the first rounds, but then Paul Felder started clicking. Paul Felder turned it on, man. And yes, his face was looking bad. That's because he's pale, okay? So everything that Dan Hooker was giving to him, which wasn't that much, it looked bad because of his pale skin. But I promise you, Felder started landing on Dan Hooker, and man, it looked like times where this man was off balance, okay? There was times where this guy was off balance. He kept backing up. He didn't want to engage, and he kept looking for takedowns, leg kicks, and just ways to get out of the fight, okay? And if I remember correctly, one of Paul Felder's eyes was closed. One of Paul Felder's eyes was closed, and it seemed like when that eye closed that he had more accuracy. That just shows you how much of a beast we're talking about. Paul Felder is an absolute beast, man. I feel like if that decision would have went right, we will be looking at Paul Felder versus Dustin Poirier. And I know for a fact Paul Felder can hang. Maybe he might not win. That's debatable. But I know for a fact he can hang. He already fought Edson Barboza twice. He fought Mike Perry. Don't tell me that he could not hang with Dustin Poirier, man. He could take those shots. I know for a fact he could. Now, I do not think that Dan Hooker can hang with Dustin Poirier. I feel like this man is going to be way too much. And we're talking about him being in the apex. 25 foot octagon. There's nowhere to run in there. This is not 30 feet. There's nowhere to run. So he can't just be on the outside like he was last time with Paul Felder. And one thing that I know is that Dustin is going to push that pace. Okay? Paul Felder was pushing some kind of pace, but it wasn't half as much as those elite level guys, man. I know for a fact, bro. Dustin is going to push you. Dustin's going to give you combos. He's going to hit up your body. He's going to hit up your head, man. He's going to break you down. That's what he did with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje had the leg kicks on him. Justin Gaethje had the leg kicks on Dustin. Dustin still pulled out of that fight. Dustin still won that fight. And you think Dan Hooker is going to do the leg kicks and get him with that? No, bro. If you're going to kick Dustin Poirier's legs, you better put him out of commission, because I promise you, he's going to go head hunting. He's going to take you out. And he lost to the champ. He lost to the champ. Now, I just don't see it. I just don't see it, man. There's no way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the way that I'm looking at it now, there's just no way that Dan Hooker is going to put a hurting on Dustin Poirier. Let's not forget all that crap that Dan Hooker was talking to Paul Felder. He said he gonna fold him like a chair, right? That chair didn't fold that well. that chair didn't fold that well. That's what I'm gonna say, man. I don't feel like he can take those shots. I'm calling for a knockout. I'm calling for a knockout, and I think it's gonna be rounds. It's gonna be around probably the 3rd or 2nd round. 2nd might be too early. Round the 3rd and the 4th. I feel like that pressure is gonna be way too much. That pressure gonna be way too much. And yes, we're talking about Dustin Poirier. Now Dustin Poirier doesn't have half the pressure as them guys in welterweight. As Kobe. That was his teammate, right? Come on, man. No, man. I feel like he's messing with a whole different tier. It's not gonna go his way. It's not gonna go his way. Respect to Dan Hooker for taking that fight. I give him respect. I will give him respect. He has respect for taking these fights. He has respect for taking the Barboza fight. He has respect for taking the Paul Felder fight. But I just think these guys at the top level, they're cut from a different cloth. And the only way that Dan Hooker is gonna prove me wrong is for him to beat Dustin Poirier in dominant fashion. You will shut my mouth up. If you can't do that, no. Get out of here, bro. That's all I got to say, man. I'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'm going to be here, man. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.